The next best of 5 series is starting. It's the second day of the playoffs and we are in the lower bracket, the losers bracket of the XCup Summer. RossPierrDoll against Go Next. Another Polish team is playing now, and our first map is Towers of Doom. We already had a couple of good games today, and now we're heading into the next one, so time will tell who's going to take the victory here. The loser is out of the tournament completely, the winner moves on to the next round. In total, there's 4,000 euros of prize money on the line here during the playoffs, and every single place gets at least a little bit. So the players are obviously eager to progress through the bracket to lock in a bit more of that prize money. Mark is also subbing in on the side of Go Next. As a little bit sad, of course, that they didn't make it into the playoffs. The team with Wooby, Breeze and Smexy, Marke and Bergholt, they weren't able to get a slot in the top 8. Mainly because they only participated in the final 2 qualifiers. They were on vacation and holidays before that. The summer season is always going to face some issues like that. But yeah, maybe in the next season we're gonna have them competing again, and then a bit earlier. It would be kind of cool. Would have been very, very much fun to see them in here too. But we have some strong teams, obviously. We've seen it in the winner bracket. We focus on the last day. So Zeratul, he's the first one to get banned, and also focus on Uther. We are in the new patch, which also means that Nzibo was yesterday, at least, when the patch dropped, played. We haven't really seen him yet today. Always a chance for some adjustments, of course. Morales has been played, so teams have adjusted to some of the patch changes. Even Zagara didn't really make a reappearance. They experimented with her yesterday once or twice, but ever since then we haven't seen any Zagara plays. False stat on towers, so no more globals on that end. Yeah, he gets taken down here. You still have the Haka open, of course, and Brightwing as a potential pick if you want to play more of a global setup. The Junkrat ban leaves Vala also open as a damage dealer, so that's another one that we could get. Yeah. I mean, openings with the Brightwing pick, the Haka, Vala, all of them very, very solid first picks. Unless, of course, you have a completely different strategy that you have in mind here. Towers of Doom is pretty flexible in regards to what you can pull off here. Especially in the late. You want to have a combo that especially is strong in the late game. Very early, that's where it's decided. And there's the Vala first pick. Okay, Vala's in. That means we have to figure out what she's going to be played with. We have seen a lot of double support Valas now as a hyper carry. We've seen her with the Medivh, with the Zarya to help out the support player to keep her alive. Triple frontline, not unheard of. So there's definitely a couple of variations when you're trying to make Vala work. The donuts go even a bit more extreme than that, as we've seen in their best of 5 earlier today. There's the Haga pick, and we get Stukov with it. So already a global locked in that leaves a potential Brightwing pick up to at least meet that global pressure to an extent. And, well, they could do that. So, what's the double pick for them? I think RossPierrDoll barely didn't make it into the top 4, if I remember correctly. It was the last qualifier where they missed out on a single point or something. Yeah. There's the Medivh pick. Yeah. And we got the janitor. Leorki is in. Oh, Schallsweffer. Okay, so he's trying to take out the trash. Comes into the game together with Medivh. Medivh with portals and shields. We'll have a look at the baseline stacks in particular to see if they can complete that. The curse of Medivh is that once that you cross over the 30 stacks, it seems that everybody is focusing on you, and you're easily or oftentimes going to die. And as so often, once that Medivh is taken, Stitches gets banned. And if that confuses you, then you have never seen a kidnap combo. So Medivh can provide that portal after Stitches lands a hook and uses Gorge to kidnap the target and get it far, far away from any hero on the other team that could potentially help him. And that's pretty much a guaranteed kill. So that's why Stitches is nearly every time that you see Medivh eliminated from the draft. We also have a ban on Diablo, so they don't want to Go Next to pick Diablo here. Diablo would have been a pretty good frontliner for them, though. Having the ley line into Apocalypse can be good, doesn't have to be. I mean, we've seen way too many games on the first day of the tournament, of the playoffs, where the combo just didn't work out at all. It's always a question of whether or not you can lock down Diablo after Medivh set the ley line up. Here's a Nubarak and Chromie. So again, the dive in, they're trying to go for Chromie. She's happy to be back in the game.
Yay!
Told you. Because she hasn't been played in a bit. I haven't seen it for a couple of games. So it's all about trying to set the stun up, set the lurking arm up, and allow Chromie to get the damage in. As she's gonna try to waddle into range in time. And, well, last 2 picks. Anduin and Garrosh. Alliance above, shut the fuck up. Yeah. The crybaby. The Nick Carter of the Nexus. Okay. Might have been a case for the Quack Street boys, but nope. Market with the last pick. Market's always the X-Factor pick, like, I don't know. Every single time we get Market, there's a Mephistos flying around everywhere. Like, he is the one. If there is an odd pick, he's gonna play it. That's what's gonna happen. But anyways, this is setting us off for the series. He plays Sylvanas, taking it a bit more traditional here. Guys, we're heading into Towers of Doom. It's our first map in the best of 5 now in the losers bracket of the XCup Summer Playoffs between RossPierrDoll and Go Next. Towers of Doom, map number 1, RossPierrDoll against Go Next. And on the left side, the blue team, the Polish team, with Markotzl on Garrosh, Akunis on Leoric, Ether on Vala, we got Redun on Anduin, and Alvaros on Medivh. Gonna keep an eye on that Arcane Rift. On the right side of the map, Wit with Anuburak, Zero on Chromie, we got Death Knight on Stukov, Maka on Sylvanas, and Dehaka gets played by Blade in the first game. So we got the Time Walker's Pursuit over here. Trying to get some extra vision around all of this. And with that, we can get the party started. Which team moves on to the next round of the tournament? Vision has already been granted. This is, of course, the biggest comeback map in the pool. This is a real fun setup. You know, Blizzard these days, they try to rework Garden of Terror a bit, and all they did was try to combine 2 objectives that already existed in the game. And I was a bit skeptical when Towers of Doom first came out, but I gotta say, that map is always delivering. We see one great game after another here. The late game is, of course, the most important. You can snowball here for sure, but late game, everything can change with just a single team fight. Once that you get momentum on this map and take some structures down, the entire balance shifts very, very quickly. 1 minute mark approaches, that's when the 2 pumpkin camps are spawning, and then the teams have to decide whether they want to simply go for their own camp or if they are trying to be a bit more aggressive and make a move for the opponent's camp too and force a team fight. Now if that fight is successful, you get a kill, you get a camp, you find yourself in a great spot. If you on the other hand lose 1 or 2 heroes, and you will lose some map control in the early game, that can definitely be a problem. So Medivh is sniffing all of that out. The birdie is right there providing vision. It's one of the most annoying things with Medivh. I'm still a fan of the idea that there's certain heroes that can attack Medivh when he's in the air. Like, maybe Nova. I don't know. Go for the sniper, snipe him, like whatever it is. Get someone a heat-seeking missile. I don't really care, but just give me something where every now and then I can just shoot that bird out of the sky whenever he's just sitting here. Because that is just taunting. This is absolutely taunting. Puts the portal out too. Wit already in trouble, but Stukov has his back with the lurking arm. Stacks slowly for Vala. We've seen several adjustments. She was nerfed in the recent patch. We've seen arrow builds a bit more often. The level 7 and the level 13 talent oftentimes changed. We'll see if that's also going to happen over here. Of course, the players are still trying to figure the patch out a bit. I mean, it has now been out for nearly 24 hours, not quite. Players had way more time to play with it, to go into try mode and just have a look in general. But some adjustments will still be made over time. The level 4, you don't need Needle Peasants anymore, so we got the Ghastly Reach in this case. Had the Paralyzing Rage already a few times taken too. They're trying to go for Chromie. Chromie, she's in trouble. And there's the kill. They slap her around. And that's the end of her. First blood already reached. But the question is at what cost? Because Anduin is all of a sudden in trouble. But it's Vala that dies. Thanks to the portal, the rest of the team can escape. Or can it? Ah, Anduin! Yeah. Comes in and simply pulls him back to safety. So yeah, good job. Keeping Garrosh alive was absolutely pivotal if you want to lock in that bottom altar. Top left, top right are normally exchanged. Already a lock by Leo to the top left, but the Haka is now following up on it. And down here, this is where the party starts between the 2 of them. So who is able to lock in the 3rd one and get a bit ahead on all of this? Chromie, she's already with a level 7 talent. A proper greeting. Portal is in. The poke from Chromie can be an absolute pain in the ass here. 18 stacks for Medivh. Again, we're gonna keep an eye on that. If he can complete it, it would definitely boost his damage by a lot and would make it much easier for him to have an impact here. Yeah, the interrupts. We get the hot pursuit indeed, so even though it was nerfed, Vala is still locking it in on level 4. With low, stunned for just a moment. The portal is up, the Haka comes in, trying to go for Anduin in the back line. Oh, the kill! Make with a place on Sylvanas, and he is able to take Vala down and prepares the kill against Anduin. He nearly died too, but it didn't happen. So now we have 3 kills to 1. They get an additional 4 shots that they fire against the core. 32 to 36, a slight advantage for Go Next. Well done. Go Next. By now we have 36 against 32 points on the core. We also have the level 7 talent. The Cardenas Plating in play. Festering Wounds on the other side. Oppressor. And the Blessed Recovery for Anduin. But for the early game, a slight lead now for the team on the red side. They got the additional kills, they have a little bit more back control. Definitely are able to get some structural damage. Leorc here at the top down, but of course he's going to respawn quickly. And down here, team. Chromie down again. Those Medivh portals are starting to get real nasty. She just can't walk that quickly. Legs are too short. It's not her fault. But when that portal just pops up on top of you, pretty much nobody can escape. If you don't have an escape tool in your arsenal, if you don't have an ability that allows you to rush away, then you're just screwed. And Chromie is the prime example for exactly that. Now she can try and use her Shifting Sands a bit to control portals in general, but yeah, it's a bit rough. And Wit nearly died too. So you see that portal aggression happen time and time again. But now he has 30 stacks and he gets saved. That could have been spicy. If Alvaros dies here with 32 stacks, that would have been super annoying. Vala is completing her own quest. She's at 22. At level 10 in play on for both teams. Vala with strafe. Top left, top right. Easy exchange. And there's also the ley line now. Both of the teams are just going to zone a little bit. But nobody's going to take lead here. So yeah. Also, with that, we got the light bomb in. Yeah, and Marke and his team, they haven't channeled yet. The blue team is trying to go for both. I don't really think they can pull that off, but they are trying. And they might even lose. Oh, Garrosh survives. There's the cocoon on Medivh. 32 stacks for him. Strafe is used. Nice damage by Aether. Now he also gets interrupted then. And a kill against Garrosh might just end the fight here. Everybody low on the red team, but they survive, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. Doesn't matter if you only have a few HP left or not. If you are the one standing as the dust settles, then that puts a win onto your corner. So now we have 33 stacks for Medivh. He's a 7 short of completing the quest. And Chromie is locking in her level 13. And with 5 kills to 2, that's a decent position for to Go Next. But I'm still a little bit worried, because every single time that we see these fights, and especially the rotations with Medivh, the portal just pops up and all of a sudden Chromie dies. If that happens before a big fight or an objective, then it's a completely different story. The vision that gets provided by Medivh is obviously always nice. There's the ley line. They're trying to steal this one, and they are getting it. The red team got it, and there's a kill against Sylvanas. Anubarak nearly dying, but he got away. And that's exactly what I talked about. So they weren't able to take the camp, but it got close. And they... honestly, if it wasn't for Chromie and her timeout, then we would have seen the camp stolen. It's already annoying enough that Sylvanas died again. How many times did she die? Is that the 3rd time? 2nd time. No, 1st time actually. Alright, Maka got a few kills in, but he only died once. He's at 16,000 damage. Chromie's at 18k. Yeah. Another quick stun. Garrosh trying to keep them away from the pumpkins. That's not happening. There's the cocoon. They're making a play for it. And he has to probably abandon it. Yeah, Garrosh is down. tried to stay as long as he could and died for it. And now they're losing Anduin too. The quest is completed. Medivh is happy about that, especially since he just dies a second later. Quest completed, time to feed. And Vala got her ass kicked too, quite literally, by the way. And of course, with Sylvanas, now you have the opportunity to take that bell tower. And with 2 altars up, that's 10 shots. That is a huge jump ahead for Go Next all of a sudden. Medivh can be very, very happy that he didn't die a second earlier. If he dies just a moment before, then he doesn't get his quest completed. So now the double channel is coming in. Shots are fired. 23 gonna drop down to 18. Yeah, that's a big lead. That's a big lead for them. Not only in core points, also they are level ahead in experience now, so that's another one. Yeah, and they're trying to intercept them again on the rotation. It's all about defending the bot lane now. Bot lane is still the most important one on Towers of Doom. That hasn't changed. 2 pumpkin camps travel through the bottom of the map to directly attack the core. So if you control that lane, you are in a great position and your opponent will have to react to that continuous pressure. Always assuming, of course, that you are able to lock those pumpkins in. But this is still the lane that most people are focused on. 10 stacks for Vala. It's even talents. The problem that we still have is that 16 could happen so much earlier for Go Next than for RossPierrDoll. And this is of course only the first map in the series. But this is already setting the pace a little bit. What we can expect here. Death Knight on his Duke off with an attempt to go for the virulent reaction. Couldn't lock the target down though. The Haka and Leoric are the only 2 that are still moving between the lanes in the middle and the top to get the wave clear and put the pressure on those bell towers. They have the bot lane, it's all about the siege. The blue team wants their bell tower back. He got stolen and they won it. So, can they take it here? They're nibbling away at the hit points with Vala using a ranged ability. She's not the only one. But yeah, hit after hit after hit, time and time again. But you look at XP, and 16 is now incredibly close for Go Next, and that power spike is of course changing things slightly. And there it is. 16 is in, Leo trying to ghost it from the side, that didn't really do anything. That flank was not supported by any attack. Now we got the epicenter up, and a great ley line. Leo gets saved, light bomb attempt as he walks into it. But they're still totally fine, maybe with the exception of Death Knight. The turn attempt against Ether, strafe, but the double kill against Medivh and Anduin. The interrupt on Vala, strafe with the cocoon. They leave her alone for now, and well, scratch it. Chromie just dropped her. That's 4 heroes down the drain. They lost Leo too, and this could be a 5-man team wipe. And it is! 5-man team wipe. Shots are fired. Another 5 down, and of course more bell towers will now be claimed too. I mean, there's a boss up on the map. You can go for more bell tower control. Arcunis is about to respawn with Leoric, but he needs to be super careful that he doesn't get taken apart immediately again. And they go for the double camp. If they go for both camps, they can technically go for boss. Because those camps have to be reacted to. Somebody needs to deal with that, which means that you need to set some of your heroes up at the bottom of the map, so time will be lost. And that is more or less what they're doing now. Nah, they're deciding against it. But the top would have been open, so a chance to go for the boss for sure. Timing might not work out perfectly because the bottom bell tower has been reclaimed, so the second set of pumpkins is not going to do enough. And talking about reclaiming bell towers, they're now also going straight into the middle of the map to try and do it here. Can they though? Another camp at the top. Full map control now for the red team. Still even talents. That's a little caveat that we have to throw in here. Because again, momentum is everything on Towers of Doom. Once you start to win late game team fights, with the death timers being super long, you have a chance to just rotate towards the bell tower and take that down. Pretty much the same thing that Go Next is currently doing. It's a triple altar phase. They haven't fully committed because they know that there's a rotation coming, so they have to try and get away from it as soon as possible. And if they lose a hero here, that would be a disaster. Cocoon had to be used too. Blade is moving in. Sylvanas is still pressuring the top of the map. She's still trying to take that bell tower down. And at the bottom, the minions have finished the job. So with Sylvanas going topside, guys, this is 6 points. 6 points against 2. This objective is a disaster for RossPierrDoll. If 2 get locked in, that game is nearly over. It would be on one single point on the core. Team fight. Nobody's moving in for that. Death Knight is down. There's the kill. Medivh. He's at 18,000 damage, but that was the one that really mattered the most. 2 shots are fired. Sylvanas is trying to get it at the top. The arrow misses. 6 shots against the blue team's core, and it drops it into the single digits. 7-2-30. Everybody's fighting for that last altar, and if Go Next gets it, then RossPierrDoll is down to a single point on the core, but I guess they have to give it up. And yes, the interrupt by Sylvanas was just a little bit too short. That's 2 shots fired, 4-14 in kills, and 7-28. But of course, there is still a boss up on the map, and as the blue team is now moving down to the bottom in order to retake the bell tower, the red team doesn't even try to defend. Instead, they're just going for boss, and that puts us into a situation where a single altar channel later on in the game or a pumpkin camp can win the game for them. Just gotta be careful that Medivh cannot steal it with a ley line, but as long as we stay halfway safe, we're gonna be okay. So yeah, 3 points against 28. 1 pumpkin camp that makes it into core range ends the game, or of course alternatively, if you have another altar, you can end it there too. And the next one spawns at the bottom of the map. Yep. Level 20 talents. Catching up in experience is a chore. They got Manticore though, and they got the Glyph of Faith. That's some extremely strong talents on level 16. Neo's here yet. There's a light bomb. Stukov, and that's a kill. Stukov is down. The problem is, so is Garrosh, and they take the bell tower again. And Vala, yeah, Vala is in trouble. She's trying to get away here. I can't. Wow. Okay, she still gets dragged. That didn't really connect the way they wanted. I guess she's going down in one way or another. But for a moment I really thought she might be able to get away here, but nope. Vala is dead, and that's a 4 versus 3 on the map. And of course in 13 seconds, Alder spawns, level 20 for the 2 teams. This is a big problem. Numeric advantage as we're heading into the next team fight. They could decide the outcome of the game. Doesn't bode well for RossPierrDoll, not even a bit. Yeah, they're still fighting here against Anduin, and Anduin is dead. That makes matters worse. Seems like Sylvanas is getting away. Akudis, he won't be able to channel this one, not with the Beatles being around. And they take Alvaros down. That's the end of Medivh. And obviously, you already figured it out, that's also the end of the game. That's gonna be a lead for Go Next. They lock in the shots. And that brings us to the second map with a lead for the team in red as they lock in a victory on Towers of Doom. Well played by Go Next. They take the 1-0 advantage. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Infernal Shrines, everybody! Game number 2. Go Next has taken the lead on the first map. Pretty solid one as well, so good performance by them on map number 1. Now, if they can continue in that vein, then that would be potentially even a 3-0. I always feel that Towers of Doom is a little bit of a different... I mean, again, it is definitely a different style of how you're playing this, so the momentum there is quite different, and it seems that RossPierrDoll has already said, okay, the problem here was definitely Vala. The damage output that we saw from her was too much of a thing. And now that I think about it, I'm realizing that Vala was actually played by RossPierrDoll. I talked about the stats a bit after the game, and Vala was the one with the highest damage, but it didn't really mean anything because they couldn't translate that damage into kills. And it was Go Next that just locked in one after another here. So yeah, it wasn't quite as successful as they hoped for. But they still want to eliminate Vala as a potential first pick on the other side, which obviously begs the question right away, what is RossPierrDoll going to try and do? Because if you ban Vala out as a first pick, you are already signaling that you are not planning on picking her. And then comes the question of what else the choice is. Early Tychus pick? Trying to lock Odin in? Is that going to be the play? Or are they instead going down a different path? Infernal Shrines? Tychus would be a good one. Especially since they also banned Sylvanas. Maybe a little bit too high priority on that one. Instead, Stukov. Okay, Stukov. Yeah, Stukov is obviously fantastic to control pretty much every single angle. Just generally, Stukov is awesome right now. That lurking arm is great, and yeah, if you have a pre-stun, the follow-ups are always awesome to check out. So that's definitely something that they can do here. Yeah, and I'm pretty happy to see any kind of like Stukov combo come through. The Admiral is honestly a lot of fun. There's a lot of heroes, when you see them all too often, you're getting bored by them, but Stukov is always kind of cool. When you have these stun locks that come through, Stukov with follow-ups, I mean, even him just ruining plays by controlling choke points, being at a gate at a keep or a fort where the opponent is trying to funnel through, or the entrance to a shrine, Stukov can really ruin your day. With the self-stun that he has, when teams then start to jump completely on him, that's also kind of interesting. We've seen even Stitch's players take advantage of the fact that he's immobile while he's using Lurking Arm and hooking him over. But at least today we haven't seen Stitches yet. Instead we get a Nubarak again, and we also have Dehaka. So, that gives us our global again. Brightwing is on the board, and we get Hogger. Hogger was banned a couple of times on Infernal Shrines in the tournament. Can of course just ping pong around the shrine and give them mad value. We've seen some hilarious situations in I think in the qualification tournaments with him. So yeah, that could be happening. Hanzo also logged in. And by the way, the trend continues. Zagara and Azebo are not being played anymore. Yesterday we had 2 games with Azebo. Was banned out once today. But after the patch, the buffs were apparently not enough to make the players say, you know what, this is something that we really want to play right now. There's of course a chance that some of the teams that haven't played yet today are going to try to change the meta a little bit by expanding the hero pool there. But after the picks yesterday, we haven't seen them anymore. Zagar was, I think, played twice. I don't even know if she won one of those games. I definitely know that she lost the one that was played on Sky Temple. It was the 5th map between the Hardos and Team Wow. But I don't remember the outcome of the other game where she was played. Either way, seems like the team was just saying like, ah, well, she's not as strong anymore as she was before, and that makes her more or less useless again. The birdie is in. We got Falstad and we have Garrosh. So with Brightwing, we have now 2 globals. Both sides have at least one. Falstad, of course, also with Gust that they can use on Infernal Shrines. And Make really likes his Falstad usually. There was a time when, which tournament was that? I think it was Masters Clash, where he locked in Falstad every time they had a pick. It was crazy, and teams started just ban him out. And there he is, Salami Boy. We got Kel'Thas. Okay, Kel'Thas and Cassia. Gravity Labs in the house. Spread the bomb a little bit, and yeah, he's firing it up. Firing up the barbecue. And that leaves us with the side lane pick. Blade, so very likely a triple melee for them. Huh? Or do they just switch one of the heroes over? Because they only have Falstad as range damage if they do that, and yes, they follow through with it. They have Blaze again for Blade, and that leaves Falstad as the sole range damage dealer. Now, again, we have a lead. Go Next, pulled ahead on Towers of Doom. Now we're heading into Infernal Shrines. Second map in the best of 5 at the XCup Summer Playoffs. Let's go, everybody. Game number 2, RossPierrDoll against Go Next. The red team is in the lead, and on the left side we have Alvaros on Kel'Thas, Ashaladore, Salami, Ether on Cassia, we got Akunis on Dehaka, Makotzel on Nubarak, and Redun is playing Stukov. Go Next, they're playing here with Wit in this case on Garrosh. We have at the same time also Zero on Hogger for game number 2. Muck is playing Falstad, heading straight into the Gathering Storm as a level 1 talent. Death Knight on Brightwing and Blaze on Blaze. Also worth pointing out that Stukov adjusts his level 1 and is going for the low blow over here. Could have a bigger focus into the Lurking Arm with the level 7 talent adjustment as well. Going for the Growing Infestation can obviously be kind of neat as well. Yeah, and still going for the all-out attack in the middle here. Nobody's really rotating away from it, but it doesn't look like we're going to get a kill. Makotz is trying to lock a stun in, but there's no real follow-up. You could, of course, use the Gravity Labs, but you also need the damage output, and half the team was already on the move down to the bottom of the map. So they had to abandon that idea. Any kind of 5-man brawl is kind of nice for Falstad because it allows them to get stacks faster. This, on the other hand, is not nice for them. Even with Brightwing coming in, that's a kill and that's a double kill. That's 2 of them down. They're trying to get maybe something with a noob, but nope. They flipped him in, but that just wasn't enough. So a quick double check on the kill here. Yeah, Anubarak engaged first, and the gravity lab set up. Brightwing was trying to help, but the only thing that did was kill her too. So 2 heroes down, an easy double kill at the beginning of the game for RossPierrDoll. And of course, their goal is to bring it back. This is a best of 5, so even if you lose the second map as well, it's not the end of the match yet, but nobody wants to be in a situation where they have to win 3 in a row. That usually doesn't work, unless we're talking about very specific maps. Now, when we had, for example, the tournament in China back then, when Dignitas was playing and some others, they already knew that against some of the Chinese and Korean teams, they had to do extremely well in the earlier games because they always played their maps first. And then reverse sweeps were a bit more likely if you know there's 3 maps coming that your opponent absolutely enjoys. In this case, though, we have even more pressure happening down here, but it's Khaldor that dies, and they're going for the second kill. Stukov is down 2, and they're hoping for more. They're going for Kunis, who comes in with the burrow. Can they log him in? No, they can't, but they might go for Cassia here. There's another stun, there's the flip, and Cassia is dead. Good drag on Blaze, but that is not enough. Even in tower range, they cannot get enough damage on him to take him down. So 3 quick kills for Go Next. And it's just like this early double kill for the blue team has never happened. Helps Falstad also to stack. He's now at 23. Very early in the game. First objective just got announced. Hogger is still playing ping pong all the way at the top. And that is a hit and a camp. Both of the teams are going for it. On the left side, we see the same thing. We have the charged strikes, by the way, for Cassia. And, of course, now the move into the first shrine of the game. Bit of a lead here, and off we go. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, no, that's a kill. No, that was way too easy. Yeah, that is not looking good. Not only did they lose a hero immediately, we also have Hogger just doing his spin thing. And that's very likely going to be objective number 1 for Go Next. RossPierrDoll is already not even trying to go for the shrine anymore. They abandoned the objective completely and are instead just attempting to get some damage done at the bottom of the map. They nearly got Blade. Didn't quite happen. Boomerang on level 7 now for Falstad, the birdie. He was able to take it. Level 7 talents giving them an additional advantage. And they have 28 stacks now to their name on the objective. And that's a kill. Wow. 5 kills to 2. Nice. Go Next is absolutely running them through a ringer here. We have, with level 7 talents, a full-on engage build for RossPierrDoll and Uberak. They have now the Subterranean Shield after Underking. And as you can see, the Growing Infestation has also been picked by our boy Stukov. But they're really struggling to set any kind of combo up. And now the objective has to be baited over, so they're able to pull that off. Blade, that's a Frozen Punisher. Frozen Punisher are just so unbelievably strong, and they are just diving the fort because they know that the Punisher is going to disable it one way or another. They can't get the kill against Cassia, but it was a close call, and now it just hammers down Khaldor. The Punisher wants a piece of the action, came in swinging, and look at this. They're just running away from it. They have no chance against it, and that leads to the first fort being destroyed. Fort in the mid lane, down. No chance. Damn. More than a level ahead. They have a gigantic lead right now. Absolutely gigantic lead, and oof, I feel a little bit sorry here for the blue team. Especially now that level 10 abilities are kicking in. As you can imagine, against heroics you can't do anything. So they're not even making an engage, and why would they? They know that they don't stand a chance here. So instead they're just trying to soak up some experience and, well, defend a bit with the help of the fort itself. But if that shockwave hits you, if Falstad gets a good angle for a gust, for example, then it's just lights out in that situation. So they are falling back. Up at the top, our one-on-one continues a bit longer. But Brightwing is here. And there's the Gust, maybe? Nah, didn't get the angle, but they got the stun. Can they still get it? Yes. The Haka is dead again. I like that they're trying to take down the fountain. So they're at least cheesing that a bit. Taking the sustain away from the lane. But still, this is obviously just taking the crumbs here. It's not like this is going to give them a huge advantage. They take a lot of structures down at the bottom, but Blade is now moving in. Wit is coming in too. We already have Hogger here, Brightwing, and another kill. Oh my god, 8 kills to 2. Oh, they are whack-a-moling them. RossPierrDoll is turning into Go Next's punching bag. They have level 10, finally. And maybe with heroic abilities, they can take some of these fights. But, yeah. They lost a lot of ground already. The fort at the top lane is also now getting murdered. So this is the second fort that falls. Did Arcunius just hit the wrong button? What? Did he try to dodge out on Mighty Gust that didn't come? Or was he trying to hit a drag and misclicked? One of the two seemed to have happened there. There was no real reason to burrow if he didn't think that the Mighty Gust would come. That, on the other hand, is a nice lockdown, but it's not even enough to take a kill. Instead, Alvaros with less than 10 HP. Wow. Kel'Thas, that's cutting it close right there. Single-digit HP in this. But talking about single-digit HP, look at this one. Yeah, that one is still in play too. So another one that they somehow keep alive for a few seconds, but finally Maka is saying like, yeah, I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna finish what I started. Only Nubarak didn't die yet. Makotzel is the only one that hasn't fallen yet once. The next shrine is up topside, and Hogger is on the point, starting to accumulate them for the red team. 5 already there. Level 2, sorry, level 13 against level 11, so 2 level advantage for Go Next, and also a talent lead. They steal the camp away. I feel a bit sorry here for the blue team. Nothing really worked together for them, and them clawing their way back into this game is highly unlikely. What they need is a teamfight victory, and I don't think they can do that without getting level, at least even talents. And as more and more of their heroes die, how are they supposed to bring this back? They're trying to play the global card and just move out to take the fort down. It's pretty much the only thing that they can do. The goal here is, of course, to do some structural damage, but also to soak the experience so that they can defend with level 13. But at the same time, Go Next just looks at the bot lane push and say, hey, if you want to trade a fort for keep, we are absolutely okay with that. So they take that keep down before the Arcane Punisher is even here. Which means RossPierrDoll is going to attempt to bait the Punisher into the middle so that they can defend roughly in this area. But if it's a play for core, we could see the second game end right there. And if a Nubarak dies, if they get a few more kills before the Punisher even appears, then that is definitely going to be a thing. But at least it's level 13 versus level 13 talents now. But no, not like this. No, a Nubarak. Ah, he gets stunned and the follow-up is ruthless. Yeah, they want to end it. They want to end it right now. It's early in the game. Death timers are low, but they're going to try and end it right here. Stukov is dead. Dehaka is about to die. He pops the essence and is somehow still alive. Core, I'm not sure if they can take it. The death timers are really low. This is the big advantage that RossPierrDoll has on the defense, but they're just losing one hero after another. Now it's Dehaka that died again, and that's just a total nightmare here. So we are looking at 66% on the core, but as you can see, with death timers this low, Nubarak is already back to business, and they're still doing some damage. But again, Nubarak is dead. Wit turned it against him immediately after coming out of the cocoon. Just simply flipped them over, went for the stun. Now they have level 16 talents. They're 3 level ahead. Huge talent advantage. Another kill. Cassia down. Alvaros is spreading the damage. He's at 26,000. He's nearly on the same amount of damage that Falstad has, who's currently the top damage dealer in the game. But they fall back. They fall back for now. The death timers are too low. They can't really do enough. So they simply retreat. And they're saying, like, hey, we got the core already down to 66%. Can maybe even backdoor later. if the need arises, but let's fall back, take the camps on the map, pressure maybe the bot lane a bit and take another fort down. We have a 2-level advantage with a talent lead that should guarantee us another objective. So unless they really throw this one, they should be able to carry it towards the blue team's core eventually. For RossPierrDoll, it's maybe it's a little bit of a match against time now, because it's all about the next objective and the level 16 talent. They need those even talent fights, and that's a lot to soak. There's a lot they gotta soak here. They're not even on level 15 yet. Another fort at the bot lane got destroyed, so that's one that they won't be able to deal with. Yeah, now of course, the move through the mid lane. You want to prep that wall, take it down before the objective is even popping up. If you can get even a kill or two, you might be able to end the game before the Punisher is even here. 14-2. Nearly on 15.5, I gotta say. Blue team is trying, they're doing what they can. They had the Haka at the top lane to soak another wave, and Anuburak is now at the bottom of the map doing the same thing there. They will have level 16 for the next fight on the shrine, if it comes to that. Now, if they're losing a few of their heroes before that happens, that's a bigger problem. 20 stacks now for Khaldor. He has his shield. Anuburak isn't done with his own level 1 yet, so we're not going to see the extra hit points with the Regeneration Master for Makotzel. If they would get all of those quests completed before the next big battle, it would give them more sustain just in general. Talking about quest stacks, we have 66 for Falstad. And they're about to hit level 16. There it is. The level 16 is big. I mean, Epicenter alone is great. Just absolutely great. But there's the fight. Oh, that's decent damage. Yeah. Careful. Wit comes in, and he just flips them into the fight. Mighty Gust gets used too. They're all stacked up, but they're trying to get the kill, and Cassia has done some good damage with the ball of lightning. All of a sudden, the birdie gets saved. Everybody on the red team is low. They might get the kills. Finally, the blue team is fighting back here, but they just can't get the final blow on anybody. They were so close to take one or two of them down, but they just couldn't. Now they have at least a lead on the objective stacks, but we also have the mid lane pushing with catapults. At the top, there's 3 catapults that they got to deal with eventually. Falstad is pushing out the bot lane as we speak. The Haka had to fall back to defend those structures, so there's only 4 heroes in the middle, and as the birdie is moving in, it's a 5 versus 4. Yeah, that's getting... Oh, there's the stun. The Haka coming in from behind. Okay, another stun against Makotzel, and Anuburak is dead again. Anuburak is down, and that's a 5 versus 4 overall. They go for another kill, and Dehaka, he pops the essence. He might still fall. Good push against Zero, but Dehaka is down, and the catapults are already on the core, and they're flying in to take everybody apart. Kelthas is about to die, so is Stukov. Both of them are dead, and as the catapults obliterate the shield, here comes the move for the end of the game. They want the 5-man team wipe, and they get it. And that's a 2-0 lead for Go Next against RossPierrDoll in this best of 5 series as they take the core down on Infernal Shrines. Solid victory for the red team as we are heading towards game number 3. Game number 3, Go Next with a 2-0 lead. We're heading into Battlefield of Eternity. This could be a 3-0. The way that Go Next has been, I mean, maybe not necessarily dominated the series, but they've always seemed to get the better start into the game. Outside of maybe the first fight. So they're always having a really good draft that works together for them. And they start to snowball it in the mid-game. In this case, they got a very early lead with level 10 on Infernal Shrines. Were able to use their heroic abilities to control the map even further. And I feel every single objective that spawned, they had a talent advantage. Wasn't quite true for the last battle, so RossPierrDoll really fought to have an opportunity to fight with level 16 talents against them. But it just didn't work out. So they lost that battle too. At that point, we obviously had already a mid and top lane pressure against their structures, which forced the Haka back. But just generally, the coordination is better for the red team, and RossPierrDoll has to step it up quite a bit if they want to turn this around now. So we have Vala banned again, but that also leaves Junkrat open, and I think this is the first time, one of the very few times in this tournament in general, that we've seen Junkrat. He doesn't get played a lot because he's mostly banned out. And you can do so many players with Junkrat. We are talking always about Stukov and a lot of these, you know, Stukov, Tyrande, Malfurion. A lot of the supports that can follow up on a stun. Junkrat is in a similar spot because if you get a stun against the target and Junkrat is able to set the mine up, you can isolate the target very, very quickly. But right now, we got Blaze and we have Malfurion on the other side. It just feels that Blade is playing Blaze whenever he can. For the longest time, Blade had 2 or 3 heroes on the side lane that he was playing. And it was mainly Deathwing and Blaze. That has shifted slightly, but Blaze is still one of them. So he has another chance to play him and he goes for it. Some people just want to see oil burn. Stitches! Okay! So now they are switching things up. We have Stitches and Deckard Cain. The old geezer is in. Stitches is also in the house. I talked a bit earlier about Medivh bans whenever you see a Stitches. Don't really think that's gonna be happening here. You can play Medivh on Battlefield of Eternity, you can. But do they do it with this? I don't think so. Urel, alright. The ban on Urel. Ah, Space Goat has not been doing a lot today, but boy, yesterday she did work. I mean, she really, really did work. And here comes the Tracer ban. Yeah, once that you see the Malfurion pop up on the other side, you oftentimes are thinking to eliminate Tracer because that combo is just incredibly powerful. The range of Malfurion's heal, just the heal over time, Tracer, the overheal that you can cast with it, that allows Tracer to just be so aggressive. And yeah, it's just a bit too much for most people to handle. So, double pick for Go Next. They've dominated the series. 2 kills, 2 wins to 0. Garrosh and Zarya. Oh. Yeah, speed bubble on level 4. Garrosh just runs into the team and flips the target over. In addition to that, whenever Zarya gets close enough to whoever gets gorged by Stitches or hooked, she can provide the shield. And that leaves us with only one question, and that is, who is the hyper carry that Zero will pick? Vala is banned. Could we see a hammer here against the Stitches? Is that a thing? Oh, Lunara! The zoo is open apparently. Bambi and Chen are in. Okay. Oh dear. Lunara and Chen. So Chen can go for top keg plays once that Stitches hits the hook and gorge. Isolate the target further, push the opponent away. But what's the last pick? I mean, you could go Jimmy as well, of course. But then again, you want to have something, but they can ideally dodge some hooks. Suljin! Kind of blanked on him. We had Suljin so many times in the qualifier. So they go for the troll. They want the axe, they get an axe. Guys, Battlefield of Eternity. It could be the final map in the best of 5 series. Let's find out who takes it. Go Next. They got Suljin, and on the other side we got Lunara and Chen. Time to go and see who wins it. RossPierrDoll against Go Next. Game number 3. Here we go. RossPierrDoll. They're trying to go for the Hail Mary now against Go Next. And they need to win 3 in a row if they want to continue through the tournament bracket. If they lose here, it's all over. We got Makotzel on Stitches, Ether on Junkrat, Akunis with the Panda on Chen. We have Redun on Lunara playing Bambi in the game, and Alvaros is on Deckard Cain. On the right side of the map, Go Next with Wit on Garrosh, 0 on Suljin on level 1 going into Recklessness. We have Death Knight on Malfurion. Mak is playing Zarya, going for the speed bubble on level 4 to support Garrosh and make it even more aggressive. And we got a Blade on Blaze. So, let's go. Bambi at the bot lane. The damage over time also against Immortal. And by the way, one thing that I'm never really tired of pointing out, because when I thought about it and when I was told, it blew my mind. I was always talking about like Bambi, and then at some point someone told me, I was like, you are aware that Bambi was a boy, right? And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. That's not true. That's a lie. And I looked it up and it's fucking true. I have no idea, but and honestly, if you think about it, it makes sense, because at the end of the movie, which honestly I've watched, I think, once as a kid, obviously he becomes like a majestic stack or whatever. But I always thought that Bambi was a girl. Like, I don't know. So there's so many pictures also of Bambi and it just looks like a girl. It was so weird. I was like, huh, look at that. I've been totally wrong. So yeah, Bambi is indeed a boy. Okay, either way, at that point, we already got the first kill in. Junkrat died and was quickly focused down and turned as dead as Bambi's mom. But now with the 1 kill against 0 setup, there's also some dominance at the bot lane that leads to a camp that they're able to take. So off we go. We have with level 4. Again, I want level 4. I want Stitches, not Stitches, sorry. I want Garrosh to go just run in and, you know, the flip target's over. We need this speed bubble setup. We need the combo. But I mean, either way, they go for Ether again. Junkrat is a little bit slow. It's a full-on zoo over there. We got a rat, we got a panda, and we also got a deer. And it's getting a little bit crazy. Stitches is whatever Stitches is. I mean, that thing is patchwork together from several things. So I guess we can call that also an animal. And here we go. And Deckard Cain is the zookeeper. So, yeah. That actually makes way more sense than I thought. Alright. So we got Death Knight and 0 here. 0 already with a ratatat. I would love if that shaman just turns around, gets 1 hit in against him and kills him. That would just be the dream. Can you imagine how funny that would be? There's the speed bubble. So this is the moment where he just cast it on Garrosh and he just runs in race car style. Yeah, like this, and looks for a target to flip into the team. We got the Ruby on level 4. And let's go. We already have our... Ooh, look at Suljin, by the way. I didn't even see the mount. That man is running on money. Look at him. I had no idea. Suljin is in for the dollars. I thought he wanted axe, but apparently he just wants that green shit. There we go. Auto attacks. And he is gonna drop Stitches. The good thing about an isolated kill against Stitches like this is he gets so many auto attacks in because Stitches is a little fatty. He has a lot of hit points and it takes a while until you can take him down. So that's 3 stacks for 0, who now has 9 stacks on the baseline, which means he's only 6 away from getting the range increase, and they locked in the halftime show on top of that too. So that was the worst case scenario for RossPierrDoll, losing the main tank, with which, I mean, they need him. And that's the beauty of having that Garrosh. I'm always amazed, by the way, how strong Garrosh is. I mean, that guy flips over anything. A big fat panda, he doesn't care. Going for Stitches, the guy must weigh a ton. But Garrosh doesn't care. He did not skip leg day. No, he's lifting with the knees, I'm telling you. He's lifting with the knees. Easy objective, so yeah, they get it with roughly 30-40% shields. Ah, that's a hook on the other hand, and Garrosh might die after all. Wit is down. Garrosh is eliminated. Panda came in. Fat Illidan jumped straight in his face with both paws. And now that immortal push at the bottom of the map might be a little bit less impactful than what Go Next had initially planned here. But 0 is still trying to get some damage in. Gets the heal over time too. There's again the barrier. And look at this. Hit after hit after hit. And he is completely locked into a corner. Tries to turn it, but that's 15 stacks now. And that's the first quest reward for Suljin. You can't give him that many stacking opportunities early on. He is going to murder you. We got Arcanite Axis on level 7. Once he's done with the 30, he's going to get the double swing on it. And that makes it even more problematic. Level 10, that's something that RossPierrDoll desperately needs. Oh, that's a good hook. Against Malfurion of all. Yeah, Malf is down. The guy with the green beard is eliminated. And there, Blade. And he's dead too. Fat Illidan is chasing them down, jumping in time again. By the way, we are going to reduce a couple of points from Arkunis. I like the Warmaster Chen, don't get me wrong, but it is the wrong color. The red tint is just not as good as the white one. The white and black version is by far better. It's absolutely superior. So, small point reduction for Arkunis when it comes to style points. Outside of that, solid performance. Suljin, again, celebrating capitalism on the dollar bills, y'all. And with 3 kills to 2 and a lead in experience, RossPierrDoll is getting a bit ahead, at least for now. But of course, they lost some structures. They're still looking at these hooks, on the other hand. Once level 13 hits and they got the range extension, that's going to be even more dangerous. And here, look at it. Yeah, race car Garrosh. And they got the flip on Stitches. Free stacking for Suljin, but they couldn't get the kill. But as the late game approaches, it's of course going to get real dangerous for the blue team if we have a lot of stacks for 0. And he is going to try and get those together. Not only for the baseline, but also in the level 7. The Panda! Oh yeah, he's in real trouble. Do we get the speed barrier again? Are we having another flip? He actually gets out. Nicely done. Alright. He's already on the run, and look at the blue team. They instead are just taking down the wall at the bottom of the map, and they're close to level 10 too. So they try to go for the objective. Both teams are dishing out the damage. Damage over time from Lunara's asset is doing work. But any second now, heroic abilities are going to be ready for them. Thornwood Wines for the poke. Panda can now go for the top keg plays. They're fighting without level 10. That's a mistake. That's not something that you want to do. You don't want to take that battle, baby. Good save on Suljin for now, but Fat Illidan jumps in again. They get the ult on him once more. Can they really save everybody? Are you kidding me? Against level 10 abilities on the other side? Nah, there's the Gorge, and at least Garrosh goes down. Garrosh at the end of his wits that he's surrounded by opponents, but we get a kill against Deckard Cain, and now they have level 10 themselves. Immediately the Twilight Dream, and that Stitch is dead once again. Stitch is dead. Lunara, she's still looking for them. Oh my god! Goodbye. Suljin with the big hits. 25 stacks on the baseline, 24 stacks on the level 7. And our boy is crushing over here. Absolutely crushing. 22,000 damage, top damage in the game, as is. Went for the Taz Dingo. And they're taking, or trying to take, a camp too. With aggroed it. And yes, they can get both of them at the top lane. Gotta hurry a little bit. But yeah, that's gonna hurt. That one is definitely gonna hurt. 18,000 damage for Lunara. 22,000 for Suljin. He hasn't died yet. Neither has the Panda, by the way. Budget Illidan is doing his thing. 5 kills to 4 now. Things have turned once more. The hook, and it's just not long enough yet. Nope. They go instead for Stitches. They try the taunt. The ult. Riptire. Trying to blow it up here. They can't get the kill. They at least take some of those minions from the wave down. But another attempt to go for Mark Hotzel. Wade has to be super careful. If he gets hooked, Indomitable. No chance. And there's the top keg play. They try to go for Death Knight, and that's a problem for Malfurion. Malf, surrounded. Looking for a Twilight Dream maybe, but couldn't lock that in either. Alright. So, for now, what else? Bot lane, Mark is still looking in experience. It's actually very even in kills, so it's 5 kills to 5. It's the scaling that terrifies me. If you have, like, one of the reasons why Suljin for the longest time didn't really get played a whole lot is because it's very difficult to just make him properly stack into the late game, and that's what you need. The only map that, I mean, not the only map, but pretty much the map where he's played the most, if he's played at all, is Battlefield of Eternity, because here you have a lot of 5 versus 5 battles whenever we are seeing an objective on the map. You have also a lot of stalemates where the teams are just exchanging blows, and that's a good example. Gorging him is probably a bit of a dumb idea because he can just ult it out. Well, if he hits it, the Riptire crushed him before he could even hit his R button. Yeah, so that happened. And get over here. Blade down, and that's a double kill. And I feel a little bit silly. I mean, honestly, he seemed to think that he can get away without using his ult, and that's just not the case. If he hit his ult and went for Tasdingo, he would have survived that easy peasy. At least initially, he would have gotten a bit of free stacking. But as it stands, that's a fantastic double kill for RossPierrDoll, because all of a sudden, with the Immortal spawning in 10, they have some map control they can use to take their own camp. They have already set up another minion wave towards the fort at the bottom of the map that is going to do some damage. Top side is pushing, so they have some map control and an earlier start on the Immortal. Good for them. Here we go. 13 talents on both ends now. Oh, that's a good flip. Now Kotzel might be in trouble here. Here is Chen once again. And they're going for Zarya. The Twilight Dream has just hit. Zarya totally fine. Totally fine. And Akunis, he's in trouble. Wit is also a bit low, but of course, access everywhere. They want axe. They get axe. Everybody's getting axe. Zero with more damage. Nice flip out of the fight. Ult also used. And it seems like Chen wanted a bit of axe too. And look at Wit. He's already... both of them heal here. But yeah, hello, sir. And can they take him? With the help of Marke, they should be able to. Unless we get a helping hand. Yeah, nope. No helping hand from Kotzel. Instead, Chen is down. 34,000 damage from Suljin. And we have him on 35 stacks. Which means that now he has the double swing also on the axis. Oh my god. Lunara's body gets blown across the map. Ether. He gets out, but there we go. Once again. As Suljin gets to 40 stacks, and those auto attacks are chunking at this point. Absolutely chunking. That's a nice one. Stay a while and get wrecked. But there was no Riptire. If there was a Riptire follow-up after that sleep, that would have been pretty great. Ether at this point is pausing the game. He's like, guys, something is not working here. Something is not working. I hit my R button and I didn't get a Riptire. And then someone comes in and is like, dude, it wasn't cooldown. He's like, shit. No, anyways, so I'm not quite sure what exactly is going on there, and maybe a bit of a tactical problem, or sorry, technical problem. Tactical problem is there too. Yeah, both is true. But now that the Immortal is up, this is not really looking good, because we still have 2 heroes dead for the blue team. They don't have a main tank, and Lara is missing, and she's the one that has been poking a lot also with the Thornwood Vines. Don't see Thornwood Vines all that often. Most of the time, it is just the repositioning that you're looking for with the leap. But that's a 50% shield on the Immortal. 1 fort is down, top side, and the Immortal is therefore moving to the bottom of the map, where they're going to drop the next one too. Yeah, and off we go. Level 16, any moment now. This is gonna hurt. Wrong place, wrong time on Suljin is an option, and yeah, you can get a lot of damage with that shit. 40 stacks on the baseline is already an issue. And as the game... Oh, Gorge. Can they? Maybe. Behind it. Yes, that's a kill. Nice. Good stuff. That, on the other hand, is a fantastic ult from Zarya, and that isolated Deckard Cain. The old geezer didn't stand a chance either. And now a kill. Malfurion is dead too. Damn, it's a full-on fiesta. What the... Oh, our boy Suljin, the axe. The kill. They take them all down, and Suljin died again. He just doesn't know how to go for the R button. Suljin, Zero just doesn't know what's happening with this. Something's wrong with that button. He doesn't press it, so he gets killed again by the grenade. Just didn't see it coming. They might still be... No, they can't go for the core here. That's just not happening. No. A little bit of damage, yes. But taking the game, no. With Suljin, maybe. If they get Suljin to the core, and then he pops his ult, and he just murders it with machine gun axe style, that might happen. But without him, that's not happening. So, we got 13 kills to 10. Core has suffered some damage. Bambi is hopping around here and is trying to get some hits in, maybe slow them down. Lunara is at 38,000 damage. It's our crazy Australian, on the other hand, that has the 48k. So he is close, at least, in damage to Suljin. Another flip, another stun, and free stacking for Suljin. And Blade bunkers up. Zero is still fine. 50,000 damage for him now. Junkrat is a bit ahead thanks to the Riptire, but they're going for it again. Stitches gets flipped. The ult of Deckard Cain. Nobody wanted to listen to him. I can't blame them. Those stories are getting old. Stitches is dead, and Akunis is still under pressure, but might be getting away here. Oh, he wants the kill. Look at him. Look at him. That's a ballsy panda. And the ballsy panda turned into a dead panda. 15 kills to 11. Did he just pop his ult? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of grenades on the map. Honestly, I rather have him pop the ult a little bit too often than not at all. He died twice because he didn't hit his button, because he thought, I'm fine. This time he goes for it, and he's now at 60 baseline stacks. That's a lot of auto attack damage. 26 kills. 15 minutes in with 26 kills. XCup summer, baby. Pressure everywhere. Double catapult at the top. Kiss that wall goodbye. They don't even have a hero close to it. They're trying to defend instead. Yeah, they're losing a lot topside. With the camp now pushing it? Okay, there we go. Nope. Guys, if nobody deals with this, this entire wall is going to fall. And once that the camp arrives here too, they're going to lose way more than that. That could cost them a keep if they don't send someone towards the top. Okay. Suljin is all the way up at the top, trying to get an additional camp even. Another quick hook. Somebody needs to deal with that top lane pressure. If the blue team doesn't send someone back, that keep is toast. Down here, the taunt is in. That didn't really work. That doesn't work either, on the other hand. So now it's once again time for the auto attacks. And he's dead. Suljin is just... I mean, the single target damage on Suljin is just absolutely out of this world. He's at 63,000 damage. Junkrat has a bit more, but he's, of course, spreading the damage out a lot more, too. Suljin is by now... I mean, these axes alone. Are you kidding me? Did you see them slice him down to 30, like 50% HP? Even lower than that? If you are in the wrong position at that point, you're just dead. Exactly, like Lunara. She thought she could get away with this shit, and very quickly she learned differently. Now there's the level 20. Stitches is dead too, so Tazdingo is even stronger, and they're not even wasting time with this. The keep is already gone. As I already predicted, if you don't deal with that camp at the top lane and those catapults, then keep is gonna fall, and of course that exposes the core. They travel to the top lane, as there's only a few left, and here comes Suljin once more. One auto attack after another. That's game. They go for another kill. 20 kills, 211, 70 stacks for Suljin on his baseline. And they're just farming heroes. Zero is dead. Suljin gets eliminated. But that's also what's going to happen to the core in another second. 3-0 victory for Go Next as they move on to the next round of the losers bracket in the XCup Summer. GG.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.